episode 13 of Catfish and Chris. And this evening, I'm going to do a little 30-minute creek fishing challenge. Well, not necessarily a challenge, it's just all I wanted to give it is about 30 minutes on this local little creek that goes through where I used to live at. I really want to go back there, but I know what will happen if I do, because mosquitoes are horrible right now. So yeah, as soon as I finish this intro, I'm going to start it. And the only thing that I'm using today is trout magnets. I'm not tying on a whole bunch of crap, but a little 4.6 ultralight 500 series reel and 2-pound test. So let's get at it and see how many fish we can catch in. All right, this is the start of a 30-minute challenge. Okay, timer 0 hours and 30 minutes starting now. I'm only using 2-pound test, little trout magnets, little stuff like that, because the fish in this creek, you don't have to have big baits and heavy lines, stuff like that. I remember last fall, I came up here, or well, down here, and fished this creek. In over 2 days, caught over 100 fish. They were just on fire. I'm kind of expecting to see a deer in these fields behind me because there's a lot of soybean. You know, nope, you cannot have my bait. Let go. And I kind of feel like I should have started out with a chartreuse or white trout magnet. That way it'd be a little bit easier to see, because it is darker, which means it's a little bit darker down there. And there we go. First fish of the evening. A little bluegill. You know, bluegill are severely underrated. Like, so many people grew up on them. Now they're just like, it's just a bluegill. It doesn't count. Shoot. Pound for pound, bluegill fight so hard. I'll take a mess of bluegill just fighting them, and there we go, got another one. I'll take a mess of bluegill and stuff like that all day, every day, because they're more plentiful. They fight so hard. That is a little red-breast sunfish, just super pale. And there are a bunch of hybrid species in this little creek too. And we got one. Another bluegill. I got 13 minutes left on this little challenge. Ow. So, instead of sticking around right there, I'm going to go up here to the bridge. I would go right there, which I know is another good spot to sit on this bank, but the mosquitoes are also demonic right there, as with over yonder. But like right in here, like I would go right there if I had my jeans with me, but you know, showing my pearly whites today. Fortunately, I haven't had to deal with ticks too much this year. But like right over there in this little corner, I can cast into the bend of this creek, and there's usually a bunch of them just stacked up in there. Anyway, I'm gonna spend my last 10-12 minutes right here on top of the bridge. You know what, we're gonna start on this side first. And we got one big red breast. That is a hammer of a red breast. Like, that's not my biggest, but that is a good red breast. Oh, that one just barely even hit the water. Another red breast. I got Let's see. I didn't pay attention to how much time I had left. I know there ain't much of it. How much do I got? I got 8 minutes and 51 seconds left. And that was a snag. I don't know if it goes to tell you how strong these Shakespeare Micro Series rods are. Being ultralight, that one's like I could touch the reel with it if I wanted to, and that's 2 pound line, so drags pretty tight. 2 pound test. It's stronger than a lot of people give it credit for. And there goes my lure. All right. Got him. Different species? Is it a different species? Do I have it? Yes. Yes. It would not hurt my feelings if you were the one that I hooked over there earlier. But I got me a little large head. It looks like something's kind of bit into him. He's got a little scar right there. I'll get a picture from my logbook. Toss homeboy back. And we got, oh, what do we have here? Ah, that's what I like to see for this time of year. That is a perfect fish to end on. Big red ear sunfish. 30-minute challenge is over. I guess I need to get a picture of it from my logbook too. That is a good red ear sunfish, and that is something else that I would like to touch on real quick. When you start seeing, like around here for sure, Southeast Tennessee, when you start seeing more red ear sunfish than red breast sunfish, that tells me the fall transition is in effect. Because through the fall and winter months and early spring, I catch more red ear sunfish than I do red breast sunfish. And when you start seeing more red breast than red ear, it says the spring transition is starting to come in, and that usually applies to everything. That's how I read it for all the species around here. I got something here, something different. Oh no, dang it. Dang it, dang it, dang it. That was a little largemouth. No, I don't want you going right there. That would have been a super dangle. Super dangles are bad. Yeah, that last one was a little largemouth. About 6 or 7 inches long. And what's that? Oh, another big red breast. This one's not as big as the other one I caught a little while ago, but it's thicker. Like you can tell red breast very easily because they've got like the orange belly, blue on their sides, and the tips of their fins are fairly bright orange. Which green sunfish are also like that, but green sunfish are a lot darker than that. Alright, I'm gonna have to make this quick because mosquitoes are already eating me alive. But the rod and reel that I was using this afternoon is a Shakespeare Micro Series 4.6 ultralight, a Abu Garcia Silver Max 500 size reel, 2 pound test, and 1/64 ounce trout magnet. The body color really doesn't matter, but if it's like clearer water like it was today, I'll use chartreuse white, or just like minnow colors. Sometimes I'll use like black or brown, but just a basic little trout magnet, 152 piece kit. You can get these at Walmart or Bass Pro or wherever for, I think, like $19, $20 or something like that. But yeah, let's see here. For creek fishing, this little setup was a little bit more than you really need. Like, that's about a $45 setup plus that little kit. Looking at about $60 there, which is, like I said, kind of overpriced for creek fishing. You can go way cheaper than that and still catch as many fish. But anyway, if you like the video, like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, we will see you in the next video.